Hey, I love Pokemon challenges, and ever since my first stream over 8 years ago on Twitch, I've been doing them. Especially Pokemon randomizers. They've always kept my interest because it's a new game experience pretty much every time you play. My first stream on Twitch ever actually was a Nuzlocke randomizer Pokemon challenge in Pokemon Red, and I've done many since. There's a problem though. Something about Nuzlocke challenges I started hating over the years, and actually in video games in general. And it is that if a Pokemon faints in a Nuzlocke challenge, you have to release it or put it in the PC forever or whatever. And it's the same kind of concept in no damage challenges in pretty much any game. If you take a hit, you have to restart the entire thing. And that always bothered me because I hate losing a ton of progress in the games I play. I don't want to, play for hours and hours and hours and then run into an unlucky fight or make a mistake, like a very small mistake, and then pretty much be sent back to the beginning. I always hated that. So I made my own rules and I came up with a brand new challenge. I call it the Extreme No EXP challenge, and let me show you what it's all about. Okay, there's two major rules for the Extreme No EXP challenge, and there is no experience. You cannot gain experience from beating wilds, trainers, or anything. It just doesn't exist. And the other rule is that you can only catch the first encounter you encounter per area you visit. Kind of like in a Nuzlocke challenge. That's the two big rules. And then there's also a bunch of extra rules that are not as important, but I chose them specifically for Pokemon Heart Gold, Soul Silver to make it extra spicy. You can not catch the level 40 roamer, that's Entei and Raikou, until you have 8 badges. You cannot catch the level 50 Magikarp that is on Route 43, that's south of Lake of Rage. There is a level 50 Magikarp that is a rare encounter, and it's too high level, so it's banned. You may not purchase X items, but you can use X items that you find along your way. The daycare is banned because experience breaks on it a lot, so just don't use it. Pokeathlon is banned because you can farm infinite items on there, and I believe rare candies are part of it too, so no Pokeathlon. If you get a Pokemon with the ability Pickup, you may discover one rare candy with it, but then you're no longer allowed to use any more rare candies from Pickup. And speaking of rare candies are allowed to, you're allowed to level up and in late game even evolve Pokemon with rare candies if you find them. Since we're playing this in a randomizer, you might not find any. Since you can only catch the first encounter per area you visit, you must know what counts as one area. And pretty much every route, every town, every cave is one single area. Small exception is the Ruins of Elf. Ruins of Elf, I count the inside and outside as two different areas. But places like Dark Cave, which has a high level and a low level side, is one area, so be careful and know exactly when you want to go for that encounter. You may catch any static encounters. Static encounters are Pokemon that are always there, such as the Sudowoodo, the Ho-Oh or Lugia, the Electrodes in the Rocket Hideout. You can catch any of those, no matter if you've already caught in those areas. If you discover that one of the specialty shops sells rare candies, you may purchase one per challenge. This challenge ends at Champion in the Elite Four because it's just a very nice flow of difficulty that's pretty consistent all the way to Champion. And people might say, oh, Red might be the hardest fight though, but a lot of times it really isn't. Because you get access to the level 70 to beat Red, and the level 50 Snorlax, and then the level 50 in Red's room. And there's just a bunch of high-level Pokemon that can actually take on Red pretty easily. I'm not a huge fan of Kanto in this challenge because the difficulty is pretty much the same for like such a long time. And then there's Blue and Red, which are really tough fights. I don't feel like playing for an extra few hours just to do 2 extra tough battles. So the challenge has a really nice flow if you actually end it at Lance, Champion. Okay, here we are on the randomizer segment of it. I'll leave a link in the description to the latest randomizer. And I'm also gonna leave a link in the description of my preset settings that you should use. But Either way, I'm going to go quickly through it and tell you what all is randomized in this challenge. For Pokemon traits, base stats and types are actually the same. I don't like randomizing those because that turns the game into a guessing game where you have to figure out which type every Pokemon is and what stats they have. So I don't like that. However, abilities are random. Remove trapping abilities. Negative abilities still exist. And Wonder Guard exists, but only on Shedinja. Shedinja will actually always have Wonder Guard, and it's the only Pokemon that can get it. Evolutions are the same. Okay, let's go over to the starters, statics, and traits. All completely random. Movesets, completely random. PP and accuracy and power, everything stays the same. Guaranteed level 1 moves. Every Pokemon will have 4 moves at all times. So you always have a full moveset. And the good percentage of good damaging moves is 25%. So you'll guaranteed have 1 good move on every Pokemon. This is good for you, but also on the trainers. So they will hit pretty hard. In Gen 4, no game-breaking moves makes it so Dragon Rage and Sonic Boom do not exist anymore on trainers or wilds because they are too strong early on. And then in late game, they don't matter much anymore. So they're just gone. Okay, opponent Pokemon, also random completely. The rival will carry their starter through the game. And that's actually really important to note. When you pick your starter and they're all pretty bad, you might want to just pick the one that gives your rival the easiest to beat Pokemon. And they will evolve too. So rival choice can actually kill your challenge. Make a really good choice on your starter. You will only use the level 5 for the first gym leader at most. So a lot of times it's picking a worse Pokemon is better. And then catching Pokemon to beat Faulkner. Because you'll have to beat your rival a couple times. And you don't want to give them a super strong Pokemon. Another important thing to mention, Force fully evolved at level 35. That means every trainer that has a level 35 or higher, it will be fully evolved. If a trainer randomized to having a Caterpie that's level 35, it will automatically be a Butterfree. And that makes it so the Claire and the Elite Four are fully evolved and a true challenge. Wild Pokemon are completely randomized. Minimum catch rate is at 4 because catching is part of this challenge, but it shouldn't be the main reason you lose one. So catch rate is at maximum, which means everything has the same catch rate as a Pidgey, for example, which pretty much means they're guaranteed to stay in any Pokeball if they're below 1/3 HP. Held items are randomized. Bad items are removed. So you will no longer pick up berries and antidotes and like useless items off the ground. So that'll be good. TMs and HMs are completely random. Also 25% chance of being a good move. TM compatibility, hard word, is completely full. So every Pokemon can learn any HM or TM. So that's really good once you get Surf, because Surf is just a good move on pretty much anything. Move tutor is also completely random. Also same thing with the moves. Items. Field items completely random. Bad items removed. Special shops. Okay, here's where it gets really interesting. Special shops. In every shop in Heart Gold Soul Silver, there's the main shopkeeper that sells you, Pokeballs, potions, and whatever. Those are the same. And then there's another shop that usually sells mail and like maybe a special Pokeball. Those are random. You can find really good items in there. And then bonus things, depending on what version you're using, fastest text here will just make your game a lot faster. Randomized catching control is just funny. Faster HP bars is a really nice thing to have in Gen 4. Lucky Egg is obviously useless for us. And then the National Dex at start is something that needs to be checked off because it actually breaks the bug catching contest. It gives you too high level in the bug catching contest. So make sure this is turned off so you can actually use your bug catching contest Pokemon in your challenge. Okay, now that we've gone through that, I'm going to give you a few tips to help you get through this challenge a little quicker maybe. This is not a challenge where you lose all your progress if you wipe. And in fact, you can save and reload. The main challenge is to figure out how to get through these incredibly tough battles. So make sure you save a bunch, and if a fight doesn't go right, if you lose a battle, don't lose your money and just reload. Keep in mind, headbutt encounters have a huge level range early on. So if you're a starter or a Pokemon you catch on Route 1 has headbutt, make use of it. You can pretty much cheese the first gym if you get lucky enough. After the first badge, you get access to Rock Smash, and they also have a level range. You can get up to level 15, I believe, immediately after beating the first badge. So you might want to consider Rock Smashing. If you want to get a more consistent encounter, you can go all the way down to the Old Rod and then fish in every single area you haven't gotten an encounter yet. All the way back to Newbark Town even. I do that frequently because in Newbark Town also has an encounter. And they are all level 10. A little tip, if you didn't know how repels work exactly, if you repel at level 30, you can actually still encounter level 30 plus Pokemon. So in late game, if you're trying to get a higher level Pokemon, you can use a repel to, you know, increase the levels. Or even in the early game, if you want to catch a level 5 encounter south of Violet, 5 or higher, you can lead a level 5 Pokemon with a repel, and then make sure you don't get one of the level 4s. Because that early on, every level matters. You're fighting Faulkner, who's level 12, I believe, with level 5 Pokemon. Okay, and then a bunch of key encounters I want to mention that I pretty much always go for is the Old Rod. You can pick up gifted Pokemon like Kenya, the Shuckle. You can catch the Sudowoodo, pretty important encounter. The Red Gyarados, as soon as you beat Morty. That's a jump from level 20 to 30. Huge improvement. So always hope that the shiny is a good one for you. And in Route 35, that is south of National Park, if you use the Red Gyarados there with a repel, you can repel a surf encounter that's level 30 or 31 if the shiny is not good. Once you've surfed all the way to Cinewood, you can smash a rock in the city, and they also have a level range all the way up to level 28, I believe. And then additionally, if you need even more Pokemon, sometimes you need a full team. The Electrodes in the Rocket Hideout are level 23. You may catch all of them. Once you have 8 badges, first thing you should do is catch the Roamer. It's pretty easy to farm the Roamer, Entei, or Raikou in Pokemon Heart Gold. Also with the repel strat, make sure you don't waste your encounter on a route you're trying to catch them on. Depending on if you play on Heart Gold or Soul Silver, after you catch the Roamer, you can catch the Ho-Oh or Lugia, which will be a level 45, and that's the highest level Pokemon you can get in this challenge. Usually the last encounter I catch in this challenge is in Victory Road, which will be somewhere in the mid-level 30 range. And then hopefully you'll have a full team of around level 30 Pokemon. You have a level 45 and you have one level 40. And then you have to get through the Elite Four without X items. And hopefully you've gathered enough money for potions and revives, because you'll need them. If you want to play this challenge yourself, I'm going to leave sources in the description below, such as the cheat codes to disable experience. Make sure it's Heart Gold or Soul Silver. This rule set might not work as I intended in other games. You might have to tweak it a little yourself. And if you also want to check out my example challenges, I've done 3 so far, and they were all a blast. 2 of them took 11 hours, 1 of them took 8 hours. It's pretty great. There's fights. In the last challenge I did, Bugsy took me like over an hour and a half to figure out how to get through, because he led a Skarmory, level 17 Skarmory with Meteor Mash, and my Pokemon were all level 10, and it one-shot pretty much all of my Pokemon. So I had to be very creative to get through this fight. I'm going to leave a link to that in the description, most likely. It'll be on my channel at some point. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. If you like the video, if you maybe done a challenge yourself, please let me know. I want to see or know or hear how it has gone for you. Would love to see many people try this out themselves. And yeah, please subscribe, like the video, and thank you for watching. Because the challenge ends at Lance. And I forgot to mention that, so we're gonna have to edit that in the beginning. Okay, now that we've gone through that, a few ticks and oh my god. 1 per game, per challenge. You're allowed to let me do that again.